Magandang hapon Malacanang Press Corps at welcome sa ating press briefing ngayong hapon, November 12, 2024. Yesterday afternoon, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. met with key officials of the Department of Interior and Local Government, Department of Justice, Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, and the Philippine National Police to strengthen collaboration among the PDEA, PNP, and the NBI in the fight against illegal drugs. Meanwhile, the composite team of the DILG, Departments of National Defense, Social Welfare and Development, Public Works and Highways, and the Office of Civil Defense in Regions 1, 2, and Cordillera Autonomous Region met this morning to assess the impact of severe tropical storm Nika in the affected provinces. To give us updates on the two very important meetings, we have with us today Interior and Local Government Secretary John Vic Remulla. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. And maybe we can begin with the important meeting yesterday.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yesterday afternoon at 2 o'clock, the President called a meeting between the three legs of the stool of the fight against drugs. It was between the Secretary of Justice, representing the NBI. It was also present was the PDEA Chief, Moro Lazo, and PNP Chief Marbil and I were there, and we discussed a new strategy towards fighting the war on drugs. For the longest time, we have been concentrating on the consumption side, arresting them on street levels, arresting them on crimes they committed on the by bus. This time we are going heavy on the supply side, chasing after the big guns, the big suppliers, the main men involved in the importation of drugs. The personalities have been identified. I am not at liberty to discuss it. Hindi ko pwede muna sabihin. But the meeting was about going after the supply side of the drug war. The meeting ended well. It ended amicably. Today they met again at 1 o'clock. The meeting was between SOJ, the Chief PNP, and the Chief ng PDEA. Sila nag-usap po tungkol sa number one source ng drug trade is apparently still inside Muntinlupa jail. And they're taking proactive steps para ialis na yung mga high-value detainees sa loob ng Muntinlupa and setting up a maximum security facility somewhere in the Philippines. I think the operations will start pretty soon, and we should see a marked difference in the war against drugs here in the Philippines. On the second front, since Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning, the OCD, composed of DPWH, SND, DILG, the SWD, and other agencies were tasked for a quick reaction scenario for the three approaching storms. We took proactive steps kasi parating ang bagyo nung Lunes ng gabi. Tama ba ako? Tama, no? Lunes ng hapon dumating. Monday morning dumating. So Sunday, 10 in the morning, nag-order na kami ng mass evacuation. Maraming salamat sa DENR na nag-identify ng geohazard areas. Nagkaroon kami ng instructions sa lahat ng governors and mayors to preemptively move the people, and over 8,000 households are evacuated. At kung di ginawa yon ng ating mga maigiting na local officials, mga governors at mga mayors at barangay captains, the 8,000 families who were affected, approximately 50 to 60 of their homes were totally destroyed by falling trees and the effects of the rain. So we would have had a lot of casualties kung hindi na preemptively evacuate yung mga tao doon. So these are lessons learned from Christine. Lessons learned yung nagawa doon. This time, the local governments were more insistent on the evacuation proceedings, and the team worked really well. So, my hats off to the OCD. They did a great job. Ayun lang.
We can now open the floor to questions. Eden Santos, Net 25.
Secretary, sa mga oras po na ito, may mga reports po na bumabaha na sa bahagi ng Tugigaraw dahil daw po sa may nagbukas ng dam.
Hindi. Bumababa lang yung tubig galing sa bundok, pero hindi dahil sa dam. Kasi yung dam, nag-release siya ng tubig since Saturday morning, nagre-release siya at I think it's 65 cubic meters per second ang nire-release niya. And it went to only up to 4, at the highest point of the typhoon, it only went up to 4 meters below critical. So may segue pa siya another 5 meters before overflow. So it was not connected to the dam at all. Ano lang yan, yung tubig na bumababa talaga galing sa bundok.
Marisol Halili, TV5.
Sir, magandang hapon po. Sir, you mentioned na meron pa ring drug trade inside Muntinlupa Jail. Can you
Meron pa
tell
rin.
us kung gaano ka talamak, kaseryoso yung problema natin doon until now?
Ang dami nang sumubok ayusin yan. Lahat na ginawa nila, hinigpitan, lahat na. Pero it seems that meron pa ring systemic na yung problema sa loob ng Muntinlupa eh. So they're trying a new approach. Kahit anong gawin nila isi-sweep nila after 2 weeks, lahat may telepono na naman. So evidently there's something wrong within the system. And changing personnel is not the answer. You have to change the location, change their availability, change their accessibility para yung communication to the outside world is curtailed. So ayun ang ginagawa.
Pero sir, yung mga kasabwat doon sa Muntinlupa Jail, are we looking into this?
Well, they're being
How
investigated.
high?
Ang report sa amin is from jail guards up to the supervisors. Titignan nila talaga kung saan yung problema. Needless to say, hindi sila kasama doon sa bagong facility. Iba na ang sistema ang gagamitin para using more of technology to make sure that their communications with the outside world are stopped.
When you mentioned earlier, sir, na meron po kayong na-identify na mga personalities, big personalities involved dito sa illegal drugs without identifying them, gaano sila kadami? I mean, are they involved in government?
No, they're not. They're not. Yung first identification namin are the 200 high-value detainees sa loob ng Muntinlupa who are apparently still active from intercepted communications and intelligence briefings. The other high-value targets a lot of them are based abroad. So it's the supply side and how to intercept their interdiction nila papunta dito pa loob ng Pilipinas ang inaay nila.
Alvin Baltazar, Radio Pilipinas.
Secretary, doon sa nabanggit niyong high-value detainees na nag-ooperate doon sa Bilibid, ililipat sila na naka-identify na tayo kung saan lugar yung posible.
Yes, meron na pero hindi ko pa po sabihin. Pag nailipat na, saka kami magbe-briefing ulit kung ano.
Secretary, kasama ito doon sa nireport natin kay Pangulong Marcos.
Kasama yun natin. Upon his instructions rin na gumawa ng bagong paraan kung paano maipipigil ang komunikasyon nila palabas ng Muntinlupa.
Secretary, anong naging reaction niya? Nagulat ba siya na meron pa rin nag-ooperate doon sa Bilibid?
Alam niya eh. Siya nagsabi sa amin eh. So through his own intelligence briefing, siya nagsabi sa amin. They validated the same and so we had to take proactive measures against it.
Ivan Mayrina, GMA Integrated News.
What prompted the meeting yesterday? Nagkaroon ho ba ng report ang Pangulo na mataas ang drug consumption or buhay na naman?
Hindi, it's actually kasi pataas ang seizures on the ground pero puro maliliit, puro 1 kilograms, 2 kilograms. Obviously, there's something wrong kung puro ganun lang nahuhuli. So, the drug trade is more sophisticated now. They use more sophisticated methods in distribution. They use cryptocurrency to hide their proceeds. So, it's a different war altogether. If you look at the amount of seizures na ginagawa ngayon, it's on a record number as compared to before. And that is because of a more comprehensive plan by the government. But where we are deficient is on the supply side. So that's where the plan is now, how to go after the supply side.
Did you say crypto? Ginagamit na rin yung cryptocurrency sa drug
Cryptocurrency
trade.
ginagamit nila to hide the proceeds.
Okay.
It's a very sophisticated network already.
Secretary, on another issue, we're getting reports na naaresto daw po si retired Colonel Garma in the US. Can you tell us more about the circumstances of the arrest?
Yes, she took PR 104 last Sunday. Sunday here, PR 104. She arrived in the US in San Francisco. Wala siyang hold departure order. She's not been charged with a crime, kaya pwede siyang lumabas ng bansa. Kasama niya ang kanyang anak na babae. As far as we know, and it's been verified that she had no departure order. She had a visa, but apparently, in the course of the hearings ng Senate, her visa was canceled. So, nagbaka sakali yata siya na pumunta ron, dumating siya sa Amerika. Ang US Immigration INS, ang US INS, ang nag-flag sa kanya, detain sila, and they are in the process of being sent home here, back here to the Philippines.
Sorry, balikan ko lang po yung sa Bilibid. Alam ko ho sinabi ninyo na ang pagpapalit ng tao ay hindi solusyon. But are we still retaining the Bucor director?
The Bucor director is the one who is in charge of identifying kung sino yung mga high value targets doon. Siya rin in charge of identifying kung sino yung mga possible culprits sa loob. They've tried many solutions, but it seems that this is the last straw. Talagang ililipat na talaga yung mga detainees.
Any more questions? Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Sec, dun sa shift natin sa strategy no sa against drugs, may targets po ba na binanggit ang Pangulo, and how would we effectively address yung entry ng illegal drugs coming from other countries?
The number one control point that has to be addressed is the Manila International Container Port, Subic, and PBDEC in Cagayan. They seem to be the main transit points of drugs now. You have to remember that there are 10,000 containers a day which pass through the port, and opening them up one by one will paralyze the entire economy of the country. So now, ang ginagawa nila ay magiging close ang collaboration nila with the foreign anti-drug entities like the USDA, para on the supply side pa lang, papasok pa lang dito, may interdiction efforts sa kagad.
Luisa Cabato, Inquirer.net.
Sir, just to clarify, kaya po na-detain si Garma is dahil sa visa niya na na-cancel?
Yes, she had a canceled visa. So her and her, as far as I know, her and her daughter's visas were canceled.
And kasama po ba ito sa napag-usapan niyo ni President kahapon?
Yeah. No, it was not discussed there. It was discussed between SOJ and I and the Chief PNP.
Sir, last na lang. So, sino po yung nag-inform sa Philippine authorities about dun sa nangyari?
Sa Interpol, tsaka sa Immigration, ang nagsabi sa akin ay si Chief Marbil, and SOJ got the same information also.
Shona Yu, People's Journal.
Sir, quick follow-up on that. Bakit po kasamang kinancel yung visa ng anak ni...
I have no idea. It was...
Basis, bakit ika-cancel?
We don't even know why Garma's visa was canceled. Apparently, the US flagged her and na-cancel yung mga visa nila. Kasi yung pati anak hindi pinapasok eh. Pareho silang pinauwi dito. As far as I know, pauwi pa lang. Pauwi pa lang sila dito.
Kailan ang dating, sir, expect?
I think tomorrow ang flight na kukunin nila.
Pia Gutierrez again.
And pagdating nila dito, sir, what will happen to...
Nag-coordinate na ang ating Bureau of Immigration at INS doon. Pagdating dito, didiretso siya balik sa Senate. Kasi Senate witness yan eh. She's actually not been charged with any crime. She's actually a state witness. So, wala talaga siyang... Pero she has to be detained again in the Senate.
Pero, sir, technically, wala pa siyang kaso dito.
Wala pa. But she has to be processed again. Diba? She has to be debriefed. And she is the Senate's witness. So, and the Congress's witness. So, sila muna ang mag-handle sa kanya.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, just to clarify, kasi wala siyang kaso, she was not arrested, no?
She was not arrested. She was deported.
Are there any more questions for Secretary Remulla? Alvin?
Secretary, kahapon kasi nabanggit ni Secretary Chavez na binigyan na kayo ng authority ng Office of the President para mag-declare ng suspension ng klase at saka trabaho sa mga public government offices. Ano yung magiging cue natin for you to declare ng suspension ng klase at saka ng...
Siyempre, you read the weather maps. Very accurate naman na we don't just, Pag-asa is now more adept at reading it and forecasting it. But we also have to rely on JTWC, the Windy app, the Japan Meteorological System. So lahat ng information ginagather namin. We make a predictive model and the rain forecast model. Dati kasi ang ginagawa mit lang path and wind. Ngayon, pati ang rain forecast ang sinasama.
Secretary, are we going to set a timeline ng oras ng pagdedeklara para hindi naman masyadong gahol yung...
Well, when I was governor of Cavite, I was always a day ahead. Yung binabasa ko lahat. So, we'll always be a day ahead of everyone. In fact, for Typhoon Ophel, ang instructions namin ay... Kasi siyempre yung mga nasiraan ng bahay, uuwi, titig ng gamit nila. But as soon as predicted na kung saan talaga ang total path niya, we're not 100% sure, but it looks like it's going to enter through the tip of Cagayan and exit through the tip of through Batanes. Hindi na siya same path. Parang pakanan siya eh. Paakyat papuntang Taiwan. So the eye of the storm will hit the tip of entry ang I think Isabela and Cagayan, either one, and exit only the very eastern part of Luzon, ang eye of the storm.
Thank you po, Sec.
Ang predicted rain downfall niya ay 100 to 150 millimeters.
Follow up lang po dun sa tanong ni Kuya Alvin regarding dun sa pag-identify ng signal ng bagyo. Hindi na po wind, kasama na rin yung
Kasama yung rain outfall. Kasi ang failure natin sa Christine ay tinignan lang natin yung wind. Hindi natin tinignan yung depth and yung flow ng expected na tubig. Hindi nila na-anticipate na sa within 36 hours, 960 millimeters was dumped in Sorsogon. And that's a record number. Remember, Ondoy was only 480 millimeters and devastating para sa atin. Ayun, storm of the century as far as rainfall was concerned kasi yun, 960. So double that of Ondoy and cascading all towards Kamsur.
So pagka ho sa ilalim sa signal number 1 ng Pag-asa, ibig sabihin, yung lakas ng hangin ay 75 km per hour plus yung rainfall niya is 85 millimeter, ganun po. Ang magkakaroon na po sila ng bagong
may bago ng chart na ginagamit kami. And we're being more proactive about it. Ang titignan namin is a 4-day window kung saan ang path niya. Every day it changes eh. Pero at least 4 days on, we're already warning the regions, the OCDs alarmed already, the local governments are alarmed already. Ito yung posibleng mangyayari. So, mas proactive na tayo. And it worked in this part kasi for the first time for a major storm to hit 2 times in a row, 0 casualties tayo up north. And congratulations to the governors and the mayors.
So we're expecting po from Pag-asa na maglalabas po sila ng mga bagong guidelines sa
No, hindi bago. More they will release it more often. More often. Ang timeline namin yun is 4 days before. May kita mo naman sa weather map yan eh. When it's 2,000 kilometers away from the Philippine area of responsibility, then we start tracking the storm and start the preemptive measures already. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, balik lang ako dun sa sinasabi niyong ililipat yung 200 inmates. Sir, pakidescribe na lang po, gaano ka-secure, ano ang itsura itong facilities na ililipat po doon, yung 200 na high value?
Hintayin nyo na lang paglipat nila. We will have a press briefing sa loob at makikita nyo kung anong itsura ng facilities. But it is pretty soon. It is imminent na nilipat na sila.
So kaya din yun, sir, yung 200 doon? Kaya?
Kaya naman. If your question is within Metro Manila, it is somewhere in the Philippines. Yes, sir. Safe to say it will be the most secure facility yet built, and yung communication lines sila will be totally cut.
Hindi ba, sir, island ito? Like, nabanggit kasi...
We're 7,000 islands. We're always in an island, di ba? So, we're 7,000 islands. So it will always be within one of the islands. But it will be very secure. Bagong ginagawa ngayon.
Eileen Taliping, Abante.
Sir, saan nagkulang po ang Muntinlupa? Sa intelligence, sa
Hindi.
surveillance?
It's breaking the
nagagawa pa
culture.
rin makalusot?
Breaking the culture inside Muntinlupa. Kung titignan mo kasi yung ang sistema ron, yung mga employees ay, ang tawag dito, patrimonial, hindi patrimonial ang tawag dito. It is passed on from one family to the other. Some of them are 4 generations of employees inside Bucor. So may
Sistema na, sir.
sistema na eh. Kahit anong gawin mo, may mangyayari masama at masama eh.
Follow-up question from Alvin Baltazar.
Secretary, hindi naman mangyayari yan kundi dahil sa pera eh. Magkano
Totoo
yung
yan.
involved na pera?
We are asserting it. Si Bureau of Corrections DG will be giving us a full report by this week. But safe to say, it is in amounts large enough to sway even the most kasi kahit nung panahon ni PRRD, when they put yung army ang bumantay sa armed forces ang bumatay sa inmates eh. Pati armed forces na corrupt rin nun eh. Di ba? Pati sila eh. So, we have to do something different. And we're doing something different now.
Sir, estimated amount lang per week doon lang sa pinakamababa.
We don't have that. We don't have that yet. Wala pa.
Ivan.
Secretary, medyo lilihis ako ng topic ulit. Tungkol naman to sa election, ang sinabi po ng Legal Network for Truthful Elections, nagagamit daw po sa illegal na paraan ng pangampanya yung abuse of state resources, especially ng mga incumbent officials na may access sa gamit, pasilidad, mga tao, pag-aari ng gobyerno na dapat para sa mga tao, nagagamit para sa personal nilang pangampanya. Where do you stand on this, Secretary? Being a former local government official and now the Secretary of the Interior.
Well, I've been in the good side and the bad side of that. Nung governor ako 2010, si President Aquino went to the province 7 times to campaign against me with the full force of Malacanang. Back then, ginamit laban sa akin. Thankfully, nag-succeed pa rin ako. In the end, it's about performance. You cannot put a good man down, and nanalo usually ang most deserving candidates. So, kahit anong tyranny of the incumbent analysis ang gagawin nyo, in the end, it's the best candidate that wins.
But kung pagbabasehan po natin ay batas, election laws.
Well, they can always file a complaint with COMELEC. Titignan nila kung may violation. Pero ang safeguard talaga niyan dapat COMELEC eh. COMELEC talaga yan.
Pero as DILG Secretary, ano ho ang guidance ninyo sa mga LGU officials?
Well, we're very strict with sa pagdating ng election ban. Election ban na talaga yan. Hindi na pwede. And if there are cases filed, which several were in the last elections, na-disqualify sila ngayon for this election. So it is up to both parties, the one on offense and the one on defense, to file the necessary charges para mapigil lahat yan. And if it is proven true, which we will be very fastidious with, and then there are no sacred cows in this government. And anyone and everyone who is guilty will be met with the same force of the law.
Do we have any more questions from MPC? Last 2 questions. Luisa Cabato again.
Sir, going back lang po kay Garma, no? Clarify lang po namin, House witness po siya, not Senate po. House.
Akala ko house sweet. House witness pala siya. Tama.
Then, alam niyo ba bakit na-cancel yung visa niya?
Hindi ko alam. Actually, it was the US prerogative to cancel it. Ang alam ko dyan, they will inform you if your visa is canceled. I'm sure she was informed. I'm sure. Hindi, hindi kami, we were not party to the arrest. Sila lang eh. So, in-inform lang na she was arrested and she was being, walang HDO eh. Walang HDO talaga eh. Detained.
Sir, what happens next pag balik niya ng Pilipinas? Magkakaroon ba ng sanction since nag-attempt siya na lumabas?
Wala siyang HDO nga eh. So, there's no reason to, I confirmed with the Bureau of Immigration, walang HDO. She was free to travel anywhere except to the US kasi wala siyang visa. Cancel the visa niya. Yes.
Helen Flores, Philippine Star.
Paano siya nakalabas ng Philippines kung canceled na yung visa niya?
You wouldn't know. Wala naman kasing, hindi naman dinadala ng embassy yung taas sa stamp. At wala rin naman kung, for all of you who've traveled in the airport. Ang nag-check lang naman dito is local immigration officer. Wala namang computer link to the US yan.
So we
Diba?
wouldn't know kung canceled.
We do not know kung canceled. Upon entry mo lang malalaman.
And that's our last question. Thank you very much,
Thank you very much, everyone.
DILG
Thank you very
Secretary John Vic Remulla. And that's our briefing this afternoon. Magandang hapon, Malacanang Press Corps. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat.
Thank you.